Trade deadline is in its final countdown. Are the A's rebuilding or just rearranging the deck chairs? Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney. One name, no filter, no sugarcoating. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. Or you can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever they are calling it these days, at Locked On A's. Well, guys, we are in our final countdown with regard to trade deadline. Trade deadline is on Thursday. No real substantial moves have been made in Major League Baseball. I think the only substantial move that has been made so far is the Mariners acquiring Naylor, who had his first game against the A's last night. I'm glad they made that move. And he immediately paid dividends. But other than that, as of no surprise, there hasn't been a whole lot of moves. Basically because there are a lot of teams teetering between sellers and buyers. A ton of teams are within 3, 4, 5 games of a wild card spot. So the approach they are taking right now is like, hey, we could be buyers or we could be sellers, depending if the package is extremely in our favor, or we'll just sit tight. That's why you haven't seen a lot of movement. But obviously in trade deadlines, most of the movement takes place today, tomorrow, etc. I feel the A's have 3 potential trade candidates. Now, again, when you're looking at trade candidates, you have to look and say, hey, what is the team willing to deal? First of all, they're probably not willing to deal prospects unless you are buyers. What are sellers willing to deal? You're not willing to deal prospects. You are not willing to deal players under team control, like a Mason Miller, for example, Zach Geloff, that sort of thing. And you are not willing to deal. Obviously, draft picks. Again, that you have just drafted if you are sellers. Now, who are you willing to deal? First of all, what you do want to deal is individuals with guaranteed contracts. For example, a Luis Severino would be number 1 in trying to deal. The difficulty in dealing Severino is that another team out there has to take that money. And they would, depending on the performance of that particular player. Obviously, Severino has not been impressive this year. Secondly, teams were not willing to sign him in the offseason. Why would they want to trade for him now, take that contract when they've already seen what kind of pitcher he is? The next type of player you want to deal is a player that has minimal money left on his contract, right? A Jeffrey Springs has 1 year left, $12.5 million next year. He's having a pretty darn good season. Okay, first half wasn't that great, but for the last couple months, he's one of the better left-handers in all of the American League. And then lastly, the guys you definitely want to trade are your free agents who are going to be free agents next year. A Miguel Andújar is the most likely to get moved come deadline. No question about it. And a Luis Urias. Because if you don't make any move to trade them in the offseason, they're likely to sign with another team. Hence, you just let the player go. You didn't get anything in return. What's up, Jesus? Yes, Rooker is staying. There's no question about that. I'm not longer on the trade Butler train. Just get him out the leadoff spot and sit him left-handed pitching. Trade for Boyle. I would love to trade for Boyle. I don't think Tampa Bay is willing to give up anything for Joe Boyle, though. I would love to trade for Boyle too. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to give up Boyle. That's one of their top prospects. I don't think we have anything to give Tampa Bay. It would take like a Brett Rooker to get a Joe Boyle. And that's still a question mark. So no, I don't think we're getting Joe Boyle unless we give up a ton, just a ton. But who I think is the most likely to get traded, without a doubt, I will be shocked if Miguel Andújar does not get moved. He's 30 years old. He's on an expiring contract, free agent next year. And he's having a decent year, right? He's slashing 296. He's hitting around 296 this year. He's on a non-contending team. He's played third base. He's played left field. He's a legitimate middle of the order type hitter. And several contenders right now are in need of a right-handed bat who can cover the corners or play some outfield. Teams like, for example, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Reds, obviously, Rangers. For example, the Brewers have struggled for consistent offense at third base and can use a right-handed hitter who mashes lefty. A role Andújar absolutely is what it's all about. He's had huge success against lefties. He wouldn't be a lineup centerpiece for a contender, but he's a platoon guy batting sixth against a lefty who could absolutely mash. Now, what could the A's get in return for a guy like Andújar? You're not going to expect anything huge, right? He's not great defensively. He's serviceable. He is serviceable defensively, whether it be in one of the corner outfield positions or at third base, but nothing special. He's only going to be a real asset to a contender against southpaws, against lefties. He's had a history of injury. So what I think the A's would possibly get in return would be like two low-end prospects. And what my prediction is for Andújar is I think he'll go to the Cincinnati Reds. I think Andújar will go to the Cincinnati Reds. I don't think the Reds are going to get Suarez. I think right now those talks are stalling because Arizona's asking for too much and Cincinnati's not willing to give it. A's, though, are a little cheaper. I think the A's will trade Miguel Andújar to the Cincinnati Reds for Luke Holman, who is the Cincinnati Reds' 2024 second-round pick out of LSU, and he's currently the 14th ranked prospect in the Reds system. I think it's a good mid-tier prospect for a legitimate Major League Baseball hitter. I think Miguel Andújar goes to the Cincinnati Reds for right-handed pitcher Luke Holman would be my guess for the A's. We'll see what happens on that. I like Muncy at second base and still not 100% sold on who is playing third base. I wish they would sign Andújar to a modest gravity. I don't think Andújar wants to be in Sacramento. And I think Andújar knows he is going to get a similar type of deal no matter where he goes. And I don't think the A's are willing to spend a premium for Andújar. What's going to take Andújar to sign with the A's? Something like 2 years, $18 million. I don't want to spend that much on him. Maybe less than that. Maybe not that much. But again, I think Andújar wants out of Sacramento. And I don't think the A's are willing to pay any type of premium for Miguel Andújar. So if it's an even for even type of deal where Andújar can go elsewhere, he's going somewhere else. If we trade Sears, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Again, Nick, what's the value in Sears, though, right? Who really wants him, and what can we get in return? That's the thing with Sears. It is a contending team really going to put Sears in their rotation? Sears hasn't shown anything this year. Sears has an above 5 ERA. Who wants Sears? There's no way any contending team will start Sears in any type of pressure game. So, no. I mean, listen, I'm all for that as well. I just don't see us getting anything in return for Sears. To me right now, JP Sears has zero value at all. I'm for a Sears trade. He eats innings, but he's a low ceiling. Like I said, Grav, I can't imagine a contender wanting JP Sears. Who is a better 26 option for the A's at third base than Andújar? You know, I think Brett Harris has the potential to be, but we don't know what Brett Harris is. Hey, Gravity, there's no question about it. I like Miguel Andújar, and I think he's a legitimate professional. And I would want Miguel Andújar at third base, but I'm not willing to pay a premium for him. I'm not willing to pay any type of premium for a guy who has been injury prone and is going on 31 years old and is subpar defensively. I'm just not willing to do that. When I come back, I'm going to talk about the two guys that I feel one of them is going to go for sure, and the other one, I don't know, but he definitely demands the highest return. We'll get to that in a minute. Today's episode of Locked On A's is brought to you by Game Day Hue. And yeah, the hat I'm rocking, it's theirs. No logos, no gimmicks, just A's-inspired green and gold, clean as hell, and ready for wherever your fandom takes you. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. Game Day Hue doesn't scream your team's name. They let your colors do the talking. Whether you are repping the A's on game day, grabbing a drink on the strip, or teeing off in the desert, their gear fits the moment. These aren't billboard hats. They are statement pieces, stylish, sharp, subtle, and unmistakably team-coded. Me? I wear this lit everywhere. Post-game shows, errands, hitting the range. It's the kind of gear that complements your jersey rotation. And when I rocked it in Sacramento a couple weeks back, got 3 compliments before the second inning. And don't sleep on the split shade golf glove. Clean design, premium feel, and the ultimate flex for any fan who thinks they have already got it all. Score 15% off right now with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. And yep, the code stacks on bundle deals. So grab one for game day, one for the course, and one for whoever still thinks logo overload is cool. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. All right, guys, I think there's no doubt in my mind that Miguel Andújar gets moved. I think for sure he's getting moved. And like I said, I think the most likely destination, what I feel is the most likely destination and a good fit is Miguel Andújar to the Cincinnati Reds for their number 14th ranked prospect, 2024 second round pick out of LSU, Luke Holman, right-handed pitcher. Next, I believe the most likely individual to get moved is Luis Urias. He's 27 years old. He signed a 1-year deal, and he's been a solid contributor. He can play multiple infield positions, although we've only seen him at second base this year. He can play some third base. He filled in solid for Zach Geloff this year. Probably better than what Geloff has been. He has 7 bombs. He has some pop. He's hitting .238. He's not a long-term piece for any type of rebuild for the A's, right? Most likely we have Max Muncy going there in second base. So the A's are inclined to flip him before he reaches free agency. Same type of deal as Andújar. The question is, what are we going to get in return? Move veterans on 1-year deals. That's the A's strategy. Or expiring contracts like a Miguel Andújar. Urias is a perfect type of rental sell piece, man. Virtually any contender looking for any type of depth in the infield or a platoon bat could ask about Urias. The fit that makes the most sense to me is the Brewers. He played for the Brewers. Urias was actually one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Not in all of baseball, but he was a top prospect coming through the organization, not through the A's. When he got to Milwaukee, he was better. He's been hit with injuries a ton. Luis Urias is still very, very good. You could see the Dodgers or Mariners might go after a Luis Urias as a right-handed utility infielder to strengthen their bench for a playoff push. He can play some third, like I said, play second. He's a perfect insurance policy with a team with an injury-prone, underperforming infielder. You know, like Texas. Corey Seager's been known to get hurt. Any playoff hopeful with a need for a contract-oriented infielder would be interested in Urias' versatility. What do I think? I think he's going to go back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee needs infield depth. He can play multiple positions. And now, what are you going to get in return? That's the question. I think you'll get a low prospect for Urias. I got Luis Urias going to the Milwaukee Brewers for Casey Hunt. Casey Hunt is Milwaukee's 2022 12th round pick out of Mississippi State and currently ranked as the number 26th ranked prospect in their organization. Right-handed pitcher out of Mississippi State. I think that's most likely for Luis Urias. Chuck, what's up, man? I'd rather move Andújar and let Harris learn at the big league level. I don't think there's a question, Chuck, that Andújar gets moved. I don't think there is a question Andújar gets moved. Because I will tell you this. Free agency, he's not re-signing with the A's. Chuck, he's not re-signing with the A's. And the A's will not pay him a premium to stay. It's just the way it is. So Andújar is gone at the end of this year one way or another. I can't imagine him not going up, not getting traded. Bamboo! I'll say it, only touchables, Kurtz and Willie. Yeah, no question. I think we have a number of untouchables. No, you're right. You're right as far as untouchables. I'm fired up for Gustavo Rodriguez. Yes. Me too, senior. I think we'll see him in September, if not sooner. The guys that are kind of standing in the way of Gustavo right now, as far as in our bullpen, you got to remember, has been good as of late. So who do we have right now that would be, I could see Ben Bowden, who we just brought up, hasn't been good in the two appearances he's had, but he's a left-handed pitcher, right? The thing is, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of left-handed arms in AAA either. I could see that, and Hogan Harris, has he had any appearances in Vegas as of yet? I don't believe so. I could see that for a team like the A's that's not contending, having just let one left-hander on your roster doesn't seem to be a big deal. So I could see Gustavo Rodriguez coming up if Ben Bowden continues to struggle. Justin Sterner, he's been okay. His numbers look better than what he's actually done. Alvarado's looked amazing. I'm not sold on Alvarado as of yet. Michael Kelly is the guy that's been killing it. You would think Michael Kelly would get some looks, right? 16 games so far, 2-2, 44 innings pitched, ERA. Excuse me. I was looking at someone else. Michael Kelly, 16 games, 16 2/3, 12 hits, 2 earned runs, ERA, 1.08 ERA. Here's the problem of moving Michael Kelly. Not that I would want to, but with those numbers, you think, okay, let's move Kelly. We'll get to the maximum return. Well, hey, guys, What was Michael Kelly suspended for? Exactly. Gambling, right? And what's the big deal going on right now as far as the news? Yeah, Class A, gambling. So what if a team makes a move for a Michael Kelly? Oh, where'd he come from? How come he didn't pitch the whole year? Oh, he just got back from suspension for what? So I don't know, man. While I'm dreaming, I wish Miller would be stretched as a start next spring and let Gustavo. I'm not sold on Alvarado at all. Gravity. And we don't know what Gustavo is, right? Sure, he's put up amazing numbers, but the jump from AAA to the big leagues, huge. We don't know what they are. But I'm with you as far as seeing what Miller can be as a starter. Why not? We'll see. If we had Michael Kelly, we had not had the. Yeah, hard not to agree with that. Boney, do you think we move Severino at the deadline? I think we are trying. What I have read, Senior, what I have read about Severino and following this situation is that a number of teams have inquired about Severino, but the A's are not willing to pay a portion of his contract going forward. That's the big holdup with Severino. So a number of teams are willing to take Severino. The A's aren't willing to pay any part of his contract going forward, which I'm all right with. I think tonight's a huge start for Severino. And I do think one thing that could happen if Severino has a good start tonight is the last guy on the list, which is Jeffrey Springs and Luis Severino, going in a package deal. Or if Severino doesn't have that type of start, we think, what would the market require demand, for just Springs going? We'll cover that in about 10 seconds. Jacob Wilson to the IL with a fractured wrist. Yeah, I talked about that last night, Grav. I said I wouldn't be surprised. It's a bummer. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Max Muncy and Jacob Wilson are done for the rest of the year. I think they shut down Wilson and Muncy, who's out for the similar type of injury for the rest of the year. We have 59 games left. Actually, 58, I believe. Yeah, he's out for to the IL. They haven't said he's out for the rest of the year. But my point being is, considering where the A's are, considering it's a fractured wrist, considering who Jay Willie is, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut Willie and Max Muncy out for the rest of the year. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think that's more likely to happen than it is not likely to happen. Let's put it that way. Last trade candidate that I think is going to go is Jeffrey Springs. He's 32 years old, and he was one of the A's big offseason of additions. He no longer aligns with that rebuild timeline. He's under contract for 2026 next year and has a $15 million club option for 2027. He's not, the A's are not going to sign him to, are not going to exercise that club option. That would be when he's 34 years old in 2027. But what it does do is it makes him more than a rental for a team. It's more of a controllable mid-rotation arm, right? They're likely to trade away Springs. He's pitched well as of late. Like the rest of the A's pitcher hasn't pitched great in Sacramento. But he still has an ERA just over 4 and an ERA of 3.26 in his last 12 starts. He's a reliable number 3 or number 4 starter for a contender. It's not an ace, but he is a good number 3 guy. He can eat up innings. And because of the extra years of team control, 26 and 27, and what he's done as of late, he has some real trade value, man. MLB Trade Rumors rank Jeffrey Springs as one of the top 10 deadline trade candidates this year. And the A's are listening, looking to convert him into multiple pieces if the price is right. I think the one that made the most sense is the Giants. But the Giants right now are playing themselves out of a playoff spot. So I don't know if that makes sense for him right now. And the question is, who wants Jeffrey Springs? For me, the team that makes the most sense is the Cubs. I think Jeffrey Springs is going to get dealt to the Cubs. And I think they got a chance at getting a couple good prospects out of it. I think he'll go to the Cubs for Brett Bateman. He was the Cubs' 2023 8th round pick out of Minnesota. And right-handed pitcher Ryan Gallagher, 2024 6th round pick out of Santa Barbara. Right-handed pitcher. Gallagher's the number 8th ranked prospect out of UCSB for the Cubs, and Bateman number 22. I believe he's an outfielder. I believe we're going to get multiple prospects for somebody like Jeffrey Springs. Bamboo, Yankees. There's another one that's a possibility as well. What could the A's do this deadline to help win the West next year? Do they care about winning in SAC, or are they 100% Vegas? I think it's going to come down to grab to what our core players can do next year. How fast are our youngsters going to develop? Is it going to be like a 2012 A's with regard to pitching, all rookies? You know, it has that type of look. It has that type of potential with a Gage Jump, a Jamie Arnold, a Luis Morales. You have Jacob Lopez. You have that type of feel that you had in 2012. As in 2012 and as in this year and going into next year, what's the one thing we don't know about rookies? We don't know how they're going to perform and how they're going to develop. So that's the question. That is the question. I think we're going to stick with our young core, Grav. And if they play and we win, awesome. But are we going to go out and sign anything substantial? That's going to all depend on if Severino gets dealt or not. The whole thing with the A's has always been the same. Let's not fool anybody. It's been dollars over dingers. It's been that way for since Fisher bought the team, and it's going to continue to be that way. He's going to spend the absolute minimum in order to participate in the revenue sharing. If we don't deal Severino, well, there's a good amount of money right there. Newcomb, you're right. Newcomb could have a little value. He's been decent since he's been back. That's a good point, Chuck. That's a good call. He's been better than decent. He's been amazing, man. He's been amazing. That's a good point you make there. I didn't think of Newcomb, but I could see Newcomb as well. Newcomb is, what is Newcomb? He's 31 years old. With the A's, 29 innings pitched, 2.48 ERA, 29 strikeouts in 29 innings. He's been awesome, man. He's been awesome. Left-hander specialist. Good call. Good call, Chuck. I can see that happening. Yeah, with regard to Wilson, you're talking about, it explains some of his struggles. I agree, man. I think he played through it. But like I said, the three guys I think are going to go. Miguel Andújar to the Reds. Luis Urias to the Brewers, and Jeffrey Springs to the Cubs. If Severino has a great start tonight, maybe we package him with Jeffrey Springs or one of the others, and we'd get less in return, but we'd get that money off our books. How's Tommy Tanks doing? Tommy Tanks just got promoted to Double-A. Tommy Tanks just got promoted to Double-A from High A Midland. With that being said, Senior, he's okay. He hasn't been great this year, to be honest. 66 games, 254 at bats. He's hitting 260, 11 bombs, 36 RBIs. Hasn't struck out much, which is good. He's been very okay. He's playing an awful third base. I mean, terrible third base. It looks like he has zero interest in playing any defense whatsoever. Defensively, he's awful. I mean, awful. Not serviceable at third base. And him hitting 260 with 11 bombs in Lansing, that's not going to cut it. So right now, what you see from as far as his number, yeah, sure, he's the number 6 prospect in the organization. He was in the futures game at the All-Star break. He's getting promoted to Midland. I've seen about a good amount of his games. I think he's having a terrible year. That's my opinion. I think he's been a disappointment. I think he's better than he was last year. There's no question about it. He shouldn't have been in the futures game. He didn't earn that. He got there because he's an LSU guy. He didn't earn it. And he's getting promoted to Midland. For whatever. He's not one of, that's my take on Tommy. Is he better than he was last year? Yes. Is he showing some pop? 100%. But still, 260 at High A Lansing? No. We'll see how he does in Midland. Going to the game, that'll be fun, man. That'll be fun. It's going to be a good one. Did Hernandez get the call back up? Good for Hernandez. That must have happened recently. I haven't seen it in the last hour or two. Hernandez has been great. Who'd they send down, though? I didn't see any moves. Let's see here. I haven't seen any moves today. To do transactions. Taylor Hernandez. That is awesome. I didn't see who they sent down, though, in place of him. Oh, because of Wilson. Because Jacob Wilson going to the IL. Good for Hernandez. Hernandez has been good this year, man. That's awesome. Hernandez this year, 96 games, 387 at-bats, 67 runs, 118 hits, 28 doubles, 3 triples, 4 bombs, 50 RBIs. He's hitting 305, 807 OPS. Good for him. Good. I'm glad, man. Good for Hernandez. He's earned it, man. Yes, correct, because Wilson, went on the IL. That's awesome. He's earned it, man. He's had a real good year. I'm glad they didn't say, hey, let's bring Geloff back up. Hey, Dan and Eric are coming in the chat, Booney. Hey, they're the best, man. Those guys are awesome. But Hernandez really earned that spot to come back up. Brett Harris went on the 7-day IL. I'm bummed out about that. But there's some good things happening with the A's. And guys, look for Hernandez. Hernandez has played explosively this year in Vegas. He's good. Defensively. Offensively. It's a completely opposite difference than how he looked last year, man. He's really matured. I'm excited for Hernandez to come up. Thanks for that info, Nick. He should be something else. Severino, though, huge start for him tonight. If he can have a similar outing to what he did in Houston, potentially there is something. Because you got to look at it this way, guys. He has another dominant outing. Now he's beating a playoff team in Houston, beating a playoff team in Seattle, a potential playoff team, so forth. the Giants not winning, speaking of Dan and Eric, is hurt the A's, because I think the Giants were prime candidates to trade for a Jeffrey Springs. I think Jeffrey Springs would be a perfect fit for the Giants in that ballpark. But right now, the Giants are teetering. Are they sellers? Are they buyers? They don't even know. So them losing is not helping the situation whatsoever. I wanted to see the Giants win, potentially they make a trade. Do you think Perkins becomes a starter next year? Nick, I hope so. I'll give you how high I am on Jack Perkins. When the A's get to Vegas in 2028, Jack Perkins will be 27, 28 years old. And if he continues to develop how he's been, he's an older guy. He's not young. Like Morales and Jump are 21 years old. Jack Perkins is 25 years old. He's ready now. I have Jack Perkins in 3 years, not only as a potential ace of this staff, I got him as a potential Cy Young candidate. I think Jack Perkins is a spitting image of Curt Schilling. And he has that type of stuff. So I hope so. I hope so, Nick. And I think he'll earn that job, and I think he'll pitch into it. Jack Perkins is as far as one player I'm high on, even more than a Nick Kurtz, even more than a Jacob Wilson, even more than anybody the A's currently have, is Jack Perkins. I've been talking about Jack Perkins all year in the offseason. Now, Jack Perkins is the pitcher I'm the most high on. He will be the ace of this staff, and he will be a future Cy Young candidate. You heard it here first. Wonder if the Giants would be on Severino. Well, the whole question is, Senior, is the Giants going to win a few games? If the Giants are going to win a game, they're not getting anybody. The Giants need to put together a run. And what the recent moves they've made with regard to Whisenhunt, starting yesterday, is kind of put them at that mid-tier. This next few games, I tell you this much, guys, this might be a little far. Tonight might be an elimination game for the Giants. And here's what I mean. If the Giants don't win tonight, I think they will make up their mind not to be buyers. I think tonight is it for the Giants. If the Giants don't win tonight, that is a wrap for the Giants. They will not buy. They will be sellers. I think tonight is an elimination game for the Giants. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, guys. Hey, I will be here post-game. I hope to see you guys here post-game. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. For your second listen, check out the all-new MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis from every Locked On host in the game. You will get insights that you have not seen before. It's honestly, fellas, it's one of the best post-game shows I've seen, because you get true analysis, you get true passion. I've been on there a couple times, throwing things off the walls after a bad loss. It's a real cool post-game. Check it out. MLB Game Night. You can check it out on YouTube on the MLB Locked On channel. Take care, fellas. I hope to see you guys post-game, man. It'll be fun.